Shabbat shalom. Good to see each and every one of these here. Y'all continue to bless us. Peaceful. Shalom is peace. And Shabbat, of course, is the day that God has set forth, the seventh day. So when we say Shabbat shalom, we're saying have a peaceful Sabbath. Not only that, but also our way of saying, how is your Sabbath? See? And way, so that we can be mindful of our intent. See? And I also want to take this time to welcome in all our listeners, those that's in Israel, those that's in Canada, and those that's in the Philippines, and also those who are picking us up. God is not going to allow and set up a kingdom where we're all going to be set in some corner and can't stand one another. So what that means, mindness, oneness, and be of accord. See, all of us can't be right and sitting in different corners and different attitudes. It just don't work. They tell us these things. Well, you got your way and I got my way, but we all serving God. So I'll put out my disclaimer, as I always do, especially when I have a lot of new folks. You might hear a lot of things that you ain't gonna like. And I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna say some things you ain't gonna like, but I guarantee you one thing, when you study it all out, it will be the truth. And that's what we all should be interested in, is the truth on that end there. So, once again, glad to see those who are here and all our listeners, that God might welcome you in, and that you might also be comforted in all the things that you do. Yes, so let's get our tally coats. Bless you, Lord our God. In ZZ. Okay, we're going to ask the rest to stand. You should be near a songbook at this particular. Women are 19 and up. Men are, youth is 12 to 18. And all is all who can read. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yah. Women,
come, my spirit, God. Stop the churning inside of me. Caused by the rush of getting everyone fed and here on time. Why do need you? Yah, speak to me in the quietness.
In his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name, for the Lord is good. Men, I am thankful, Yah, for what we have. But this week has been so hectic. And it seems that no matter how hard I work and how well I plan, there's always something I didn't plan on. And there isn't enough time to go around. All right, I'm going to ask you now to turn in this direction. Blessed are you, Lord God. King and ruler of the universe. Father, we come here today. Thank you for health and strength. Thank you for each and every one that is here. As if you will watch over, lead, guide, and protect each and every one of us. Special prayer for those who desire to be here but cannot. And it's not filling up the problem. We ask that you would give healing, special prayer, and that they go forth, that we might all be able to congregate to do as you have said on your Shabbat day. We also look unto you for our healing, whether it is spiritual healing or physical healing, or whether we are in need of both physical and spiritual healing, possible with you. Therefore, we just want to ask you to bless those and give them speedy recovery, that we all might come together and be amongst your people that gather together on your holy day. Thank you for sending your son.
Thank you
For the fact that he did not fight, didn't give up on us, but went all the way. Through the shedding of his blood, that we might have an opportunity to enter into the glorious promises and plans that you have for those that love you and keep your commandments. Jerusalem, let you bless and prosper her. Keep us safe there, as well as us safe. Bless my mouth, bless our ears, that those things we just said will be what you want me to say, that we might add to our knowledge, and be not amongst your people that perish for lack of knowledge, not knowing what you're doing in these last days. Bless we go further in this service. All these blessings I ask in thy son's name, Yahshua Mashiach, the man whose name is Amen. Amen. This particular time, Bible for our Kohen Baraka, which is found on page 153. I think it should be in your folders too. And the other Bibles, if you don't have it, that's Numbers, the 6th chapter. I will read the 23rd verse. Then you can read or quote the 24th through the 27th together. Speak to Aaron and his sons, and tell them that this is how to bless Israel. You have to say unto them all together, Yivarakata Adonai Vayish Baraka. May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai Hana Ilaka Abidikunak. May Adonai Ve'asimcha Shalom. May Adonai lift up his face towards you and give you peace. In this way, they are to put my name on the people of Israel, so that I will bless them. Shabbat Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kol Malakuto. Now, if you would get your Bibles and turn to page 204 in the complete. Which is Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, 4 through the 9th verse. The first two verses, 4 and 5, is what we said in the Hebrew. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear Israel, Adonai God. You are to love Adonai with all your heart, all your being. These words which I am offering you today are to be on your heart. Teach them carefully to your children. You have to talk about them when you sit at home, when you are traveling, and when you get up. Their hands as they sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead, and write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates. Hallelujah. 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 We also ask you to go to page 1279 in the complete. Mark the 12th chapter, 28 through the 31st verse, and see what Mashiach had to say concerning the same subject. One of the Torah teachers came in this discussion. Seeing that Yeshua answered them well, he asked him, which is the most important mitzvah of them all? Yeshua answered, the most important is Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your understanding, and with all your strength. The second is this: you have to love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other mitzvah greater than these. Hallelujah. 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 When we turn around, we see that the Mashiach, the Messiah, he said that that was the most important thing. But in modern day, they failed to do that. They failed to even acknowledge that. But he said that's the most important thing of all. But everybody want to say, I'm a Christian and I'm following after Christ. See, we got to match up what we say. And that's not happening. But the few will. He said, Shema. It's very important to God. Also, we have a congregational song, which is Heal Our Land.
Oh, yeah.
This is another thing. A lot of folks had mixed up too. They was talking about their land and the inner land.
Yeah.
But it's
Israel.
yeah, right. It's talking about the Pacific land.
Right.
And many don't even know what it is.
Right.
Ain't never heard about it.
Yeah.
My land needs. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, turn from the wicked way. If my people.
I was reading the book of Joshua this morning. It was 700,000 people, and out of all them people, just those 8.
How did we get this precept? How do we get this concept about all these people are going to be, all these people keep on there, they're going to be lost? How do we get that? Because I remember that being said. I even remember saying it.
Me too.
When I didn't know no better.
Me too. I found that road.
I remember saying that.
Me too.
But see, it's because we live in the Western world.
And the Western world of thought.
And the Western world got this democracy where majority is supposed to win. And the majority is supposed to win. And so we kind of get acclimated to those things. Yeah. But God is setting up a kingdom.
Hallelujah.
Majority don't mean nothing to the king.
One move.
Because his word is love.
Amen.
There you go. His word is authority.
Right.
That's all you need.
And in the kingdom, everything belongs to the king.
Everything.
And we got to get that understanding. So we
We on our way.
but Nevertheless, those that continue on and learn, we will come forward to that. But the first thing, dear folks, is getting acquainted with the true God.
Amen.
As I told you, God's a title.
Yes.
The man upstairs, that's a title. Creator, that's a title. All these names that they use, you know, you got some of the liberals and all these other folks, the prime force or the ultimate power, they. But just as your name is important to you, so is Yah's name important to him.
That's right.
So how would you know what his name is unless he told you? See? I can't look at you and tell you and know what your name is by looking at you. And what is the logical and smart thing, the logical thing to do? Ask somebody what their name is. That's something that children learn real early. Do you know that? They learn their name. Languages, see? Even when you go back to the original Greek and everything, it's not Jesus. Why? Because there was no J in any alphabet. Till about, and you'll see that it's not in there. But then still, when we go to the scriptures there, we find out exactly what his name is. He tells us what his name is. It's been there all along. Psalms 68:4. And notice what he says here. Sing to God. Sing praises to his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds by his name Yah. And be glad in his presence. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, how that the interpreters or the translators messed up. If you get you an old King James Version, it'll say Jah. But even they recognized that they had made a mistake, and the new revised King James got it correct. See? They got it correct. And it is Yah. What we have upon our banner too here. Y-A-H. That's his name.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
And to say correctly that the name of the Son they call Jesus mirrors the name of the Father, Yahoshua. Yahshua.
Well, he came in that name. And that's all, and what that means is Yah is salvation.
Yeah.
Amen.
See?
Right.
You say, well, but I heard you say the branch, you know. See? Yahshua, see, was Yah's salvation. He done came and performed that deed.
Amen.
He done that.
That's right.
He's not coming back no more. The second time he's coming back, he ain't coming back as no little baby Jesus or little baby in a manger. Thank you. In Mother Mary's arms, you know, like the cat we got, you know, and he's not coming back like that. He's coming back as a lion of the tribe of Yehudah,
Amen.
Judah,
Amen.
a roaring lion at that.
Amen.
Do you know the animals and everything? They don't get frightened when the lion walks through there. That's when elephants, everything, big old elephant, rhinoceros and all that, they all. That's right. And that's why he's called the king of the jungle. So he's coming back as a roaring lion of the tribe of Judah. And the branch, that there is his kingship. That's his kingship name.
Amen.
And that's what it's all about. And
That's right.
we're looking for his king. I'm not looking for somebody to come back and die and be spit on and mistreated. That ain't what I'm looking for.
Amen.
See? I'm looking for somebody that's going to get rid of this stuff.
Amen.
To set this thing straight. See? So you need to know about these different particular things, so you know exactly what to be expecting now, because it's going to be very much, just like Israel, our people, they were the reason why they didn't accept Yeshua, because they were looking for a verse of that same chapter. It says, the earthquake and rain poured from the sky at the presence of God. Even Sinai shook at the presence of God, the God of Israel. Well, what is Israel then? Who is Israel? Huh? I thought it was talking about the Christians. I thought it was talking about Judaism. I thought it was talking about this. I thought it was talking about the Presbyterian. He said he's the God of Israel.
Amen.
And if you don't know what that means, you need to know about that. Because in this world, there are people that hate the God of Israel. Did you know that? Can't stand it. Don't want to have nothing to do with it. But he says that he's the God of Israel. And I'm going to tell you this. If your God is not the God of Israel, you are worshiping and serving a false and idol God, and you will perish with your God.
Amen.
I told you I was going to say some things you ain't going to like. You know, and I've had a lot of people come and say, hey, I ain't never going back over that place no more.
That's the truth.
But when you study it all out, it'll be the truth.
Amen.
Guarantee it's the truth.
Amen.
The same man, Jesus, they hollering about everything. He knew about Israel, and he talked about Israel all the time. And then they claim that they're a follower of him. That's why they call themselves Christians. They don't do nothing that he did.
No, you don't do.
He told them that I came only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's exactly what he told them. One lady insisted on wanting to play a part of it, and he called her what?
Dog.
He called her a dog. Oh, I go somewhere and he called me a dog. I'm out of there and I ain't never going back.
She was smaller than that. No.
That's right. She didn't let that bother her. Well, because she had already learned about it and she had understood. And she said, no, this man hates.
She agreed with
Yeah,
it.
she agreed.
Yeah.
Well, he little dog. He ate crumbs to the master table.
That's it.
That was it.
He praised her.
But see, we live in a world now where we get offended about anything rather than taking a look at it and checking it all out. See? Therefore, let's go forward in doing those things there. Now, you just getting started when you learn his name. And a lot of folks come in and they'll learn and they think they got a book now. Well, okay, I can accept that. You're just getting started. See? Once you understand that and know his name and thing, and you need to find out about that God. Because you might not like that. It's just like people when you get in a relationship with somebody, you know somebody. You meet somebody. You need to find out about that person. You need to inquire about them. Ask some people some questions about it. Find out, digging out about it. Oh no, he look so good. Oh, she looks so good, and that's it. But it takes more than looking good and having that for you to be able to get along. So it is with our God. You got to know some things about him if you think you expect to get along with him. Because he don't put up with just anything. And he ain't desperate. You know, when we get desperate, we'll take anything. So that's what I mean when I say he ain't desperate. You don't have to just take anything. And he, Isaiah 44, Isaiah 43. Following the world and doing what all the world is doing, that is not no good witness. So if you can't be a good witness, you wasting your time. Because I'm not going to accept it.
That's right.
You got to know and trust me and understand that I am he. That's where we get this brother, this three and the Trinity and all that stuff there falls out. He says, I am he, not I am them and they.
That's right.
Who is like me? Let him speak out. Let him show me clearly what has been happening since I set up the eternal people. Let him foretell future signs and events. Don't be frightened. Don't be afraid. Didn't I tell you this long ago? I foretold it, and you are my witnesses. That's why I don't mind telling. I know a lot of folks ain't gonna like it. They've come and told me that. I don't like that. I don't like it. But hey, I want to be his witness. So I gotta say what he.
Right. Amen. Amen. Right. Amen.
He said, I foretold it, and you are my witnesses.
That's right.
Is there any God besides me? Israel, is there any God beside our God?
No. I know not any.
Israel, is there any God beside our God?
No. I know not any.
It says, is there any God besides me? No other rock. I know of none. And then if our God don't know of any, and you run around there and holler about there's three gods and there's two gods, how you gonna be his witness when he says that he don't know of any? It's only one true God.
Amen.
Yeah, but the Bible says there's God many and Lord many. Yes, it does. But they are not true gods.
Amen.
Right.
They are false gods.
Amen.
And what about Jesus? What is it? You know, we need to read the book and read about who we think we're talking about here. We go to John, the New Testament. A lot of them tell you that don't read that Old Testament. You can't understand that. Can you understand the New? You must evidently can't understand that either because they don't do too good at reading none of them.
But they fail to realize it was still the Old Testament.
Exactly.
Right.
What scripture do you think they was reading?
Right.
And they didn't make their mark some 30 to 50 years after this.
Right.
So,
They was established, but the scripture that they were using,
was
see?
it not?
Yeah, it was the Torah. It was the Torah. It was the Old Testament.
Correct.
Amen.
See? John 5:30. This is what the man had to say about himself. I can't do a thing on my own. Does that sound like God to you?
Nope.
He said, I can't do a thing on my own. As I hear, I judge. And my judgment is right because I don't seek my own desire. We was talking about that last night. We've gotten into a world now, everybody's seeking after their own desire. And I don't like that. I don't like this here. I don't like the way that. So who cares about what you like? Who cares about what I don't like? As I said before, if I had my choice and everything, I'm going to throw some other day than the 7th day. I didn't ask nobody, which day you think I should choose for my special day? I don't know about your desire, what you thought.
Amen.
There you go.
Or even right.
There you go. I can't do a thing on my own. As I hear I judge, my judgment is right because I don't seek my own desire, but the desire of the one who sent me. Now, if the Son had to do those things there, how much more are we happy?
Amen. Amen.
Be of like mind. I said, well, you sure have a bad way of showing that you believe it. But I sure don't believe no Saturdays yet. He's got a resentment attitude about it, So that's what I'm talking about. Correction, And it just to the point of the fact that she's being correct because she wasn't that, diligent towards any of it. Therefore, let us get the things lined all up that we might be all right with him.
Amen.
See? We go to 2 Corinthians. We'll try to answer your question there a little bit. Maybe this will help. 2 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, still in the New Testament here, they say.
That's right.
Second Corinthians, the 1st chapter. And I'll read the 3rd verse there. It says, praise be God, Father of our Lord, Yeshua. He didn't say God was God. He was God. He said he's the Father of our Lord.
That's what Yeshua taught.
See? And that the Lord, Yeshua, is the Messiah. Compassionate Father, God of all encouragement and comfort, who encourages us in all our trials, so we can encourage others in whatever trials they may be undergoing with the encouragement we ourselves have received from God.
Hallelujah.
But here in Corinthians, when he was talking to the Corinthians, Paul will let them know, no, there's a difference between the two.
Amen.
He's not both of them.
That's right. Amen.
You have one the Father, you have one the Son. Not what the Trinity says. Jesus, yes.
If we go to every book that letter that Paul said to the he always start off with the Father, and then he ended up with the Son. He never say they were both. I don't know where they get this idea that they're both, because you never say he. You say that person, not two persons. But even in Ephesians, the 1st chapter always start with the salutation of the Father and the salutation to the Son.
That's exactly right. That's exactly. People come here and they'll get mad and y'all give too much credit to the Father. And y'all get to talk about him. I want y'all to talk about Jesus. I want y'all to talk about. What do you think was his main state? What do you think that he, the Messiah, talked about all the time?
The Father.
When they asked him to teach us how to pray, what did he say?
Our Father.
Oh no, say our Son.
No.
Say me.
No.
What did he say?
Our
Our Father. Our Father. You cut him out. You want to cut him out. But he said, He didn't say your Father. He said our Father. He included himself into it.
Amen.
Christians run around that time and they, boy, they're going to be a big surprise.
Right.
That's why a lot of them, he'll say, you run around and hollering and all this stuff. And he said, I never knew you because you never got the thing from the concept right. Never got it from the get-go right. Started out the shoot wrong. We need teaching.
Amen. Yes.
And we need correction.
That's right. Yes.
John 14:28 seals the deal. Still in the New Testament. You got these churches now that call themselves New Testament this and New Testament that. See?
They don't follow what's in the New Testament.
Exactly right. So, (14:28) he says, you heard me tell you, I am leaving, and I will come back to you. If you love me, you would have been glad that I'm going to the Father. Not I'm going to be the Father, but I'm going to him.
Amen.
Two separate beings.
Right.
How you gonna go to something and you it? That make any sense?
No.
We understand they told us that and all that, and got us all tri-unity. Got it all believe. Some of them believe tri-unity. He's 1/3, then the Holy Spirit is one, the Holy Ghost is 1/3, and then the Father is 1/3. Then you need all these three together to make one. Our God is not divided. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, not a third. So that tri-unity stuff don't work. Oh yeah, 200%. Yeah, right. But here he says, I'm leaving and I will come back to you. If you love me, you would have been glad that I'm going to the Father, because the Father is greater than I. The Trinity says, you see, because ain't nothing you can do with that fine stuff when there's wind raging up 50, 60 miles an hour winds, and it blowing a spark way over here and it's lighting something else and all that, blowing a spark up. Dear folks, we better give it the right God, dear folks.
Amen.
It's going to be bad. See? These are just little examples of things in this bad. Just think how it really comes when the day of the Lord really comes. Who desires that day? I know I don't. It's going to be a terrible day. See? There you go. There you go. Netanyahu's government is losing seats, and now his government is falling apart. They are looking for early elections over there. See, over in Israel, the government works different from over there. Over here in America, if you appointed a certain and elected, you got 4 years See, you know you got them 4 years. See? But that ain't the way it is over in Israel. You get elected over there and everything there. You got so many years, but your government got to stay together. And if you lose seats in there where your government can't stay together, then it's called what's called early elections. See, I guess the equivalent of, well, it's not even equivalent to that there, but sort of like
the British, area, because they have a parliament and they have something like that, right?
Well, even at that there, but once you get elected to the parliament and once you're in that position, you stay there for a while. But in Israel, you don't do that there. You have to have a coalition. You have to have,
So if people drop off the coalition, then you don't have less government than they
That's right. That's right. You got to have a majority. And if you don't have that majority, then they can call for new elections.
And the same thing happening to him is what happened to Trump.
Yeah.
They buddy.
That's it. It's ironic, that President Trump he's very much upset now because he really didn't think he's going to lose the House and he didn't think he thought that he was going to really win out, and so it's a defeat to his ego, and he's steady losing it, and so he's upset there. Not only that, but he's telling us that everything's going to be settled with North Korea.
Yeah.
Guess what? I told y'all when it first came about to North Korea, and I told y'all, don't you believe that? I had all these folks, he's a great deal maker. He's this and all that. Hey, we ain't got to worry about North Korea. Man, North Korea got a new weapons.
They tested one the other day.
Yeah. And told them, we have no intention of doing that there. Where you get that idea from? We got it from Trump. He the one that said it there. See? Because he don't know much about negotiations. See, if you don't know about language, then you got to be very careful. This is why when you go to certain court and everything, that you need to get you a lawyer. Because you fool around there and open your mouth and think you're seeing something and everything there, and you keep yourself in nothing more. They speak a different language than you. You start getting in them on contracts and stuff like that, you better find somebody to know about what they're talking about there, because you get in them therefores and stuff, and you been assigned stuff, and I know what I'm saying, okay. A lot of people lost their houses, and a lot of people lost it because they didn't know what they were signing over. I said all to say this here. We need to be watching what's going on in the world. See? Because so goes the world. See? Yah has made a statement in his word what's going to take place. And those that are studying and are following through, you are the one that's going to be up on it. Those others that are not doing that is the ones that are going to be caught big surprise. Going to be out of gear, going to be out of whack. Germany is not openly teaching and instructing the people to Jerusalem. That Merkel, she come out point blank and told them, hey, don't do it, because just because the United States got it, so she's even against the United States and against Israel. She said, just because Trump want to come up and declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel, that don't mean that the world go along with it. We ain't got to go along with it because of the United States did it. And a lot of them countries, remember when I told you that a lot of the countries said they were going to follow and do what the United States did by moving their embassy there. Whole bunch of them is backing out now. And them that was determined to do it, she is advising them, don't do it, because she know what's coming down the line. See, that's what I'm talking about. The world knows what's coming down the line. I know what's coming down the line, because the scripture done told me what's coming down the line. They are not going to let this thing go. See? Jerusalem is going to be a headache for the nations, and it is. Hmm? And you better be on the right side and make the right decision. Be like those in the valley of the Jehoshaphat. And make the right decision. A lot of folks ain't really, because a lot of folks think they're going to heaven. I ain't worried about what's going on this earth. I'm going to heaven. Did you know that ain't true? Did you know that that's not true? You're not going to heaven. See, once again, people don't believe what the Messiah said. Well, what did he say then? See? He said, in the prayer, thy kingdom come. Not we go to it. Not we go flying off. I remember as a little boy, one of the things that I remember when the preacher would say that, I just get it, I get it wrong. Oh yeah, I want to go to heaven. Yeah, I'm going to heaven. Yeah, It's not true. Your grandma, your mama, or whoever died is not enjoying heaven.
They still sleep.
And then all of a sudden on the last day, we're going to all be judged. And they're going to be resurrected and judged. Well, what the world you been doing? They're going to be up in heaven all this time, and they will say, oh, no, you should have been in hell.
Once you go to heaven, you ain't gonna want to go.
And why should there be a judgment? If you already get your reward.
Exactly.
Never thought about it. Those that are dead are going to be resurrected, going to have to go to the judgment. And all. I said, whoa. Some ain't computing here. I thought my great grandmother was already in heaven. That's what they told me when she died and everything now.
And if she smoked a cigarette.
She's in heaven. Even the worst of crooks and everything there, when they had their funeral stuff, they put them in heaven too. Don't they? Yeah.
All in heaven, that's right.
Huh?
Long as they give a good offer.
Have you heard that everybody gonna be saved including the devil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
Oh, wow.
Dear folks, we better know what the scripture said. The Bible said, watch and pray always that we might be worthy to escape these terrible things that are coming upon the earth and stand before the Son of Man.
That's right.
Okay. We need to read our Bibles. We need to know our Bible. We need to understand it from the roots from which it was given, and that's a big problem. See? We've been lied to, and we think we know, but we've been lied to by great religious organizations. I ain't just talking about some little small ones. I'm talking about some great
religious
organizations. And so just as when the Mashiach was here, he had to straighten out the Pharisees, the Sadducees. They were great religious organizations during that time. But he had to straighten them all out because they all was falling short. They all had some things wrong. If we don't put God first, we're just in trouble. And that's what we got to learn. What do that mean by doing that? So watch what's going on. See? Yes.
You didn't mention about the rockets that they didn't want Israel to go, and they want this peace treaty talking about fire. They want a ceasefire.
Oh yeah. Tell me about that. Right.
Well, they had about 430 rockets that was
By the Gazi.
by Hamas, and they shot them over there. Then there was I think the government of Israel had called up all the reservists and everything. They were getting ready to really go all force against Hamas. And then all of a sudden somebody said, time out. And they said they wanted to have what they call it, ceasefire.
Right.
Israel and most of Israel are angry because they put that ceasefire in. They wanted the soldiers to take care of business once and for all.
That's why Netanyahu is in trouble.
Right.
We're losing seats. It's just because of that reason there. Because people, they don't feel safe.
Right.
How'd you like to be? I was over there and when you go over there, when you stay in the motels and all that, every motel and everything there, you got to have that.
Everybody's house and apartment too.
Every house and apartment, right? Got safe. You got to have safe rooms. And they showed where one of the rockets went through there, and the guy was saying that some told him to leave, and so him and his mother just got out about 2 minutes. He got down in the safe room and he had a big crash. Boom. Rocket went in there and blew up his room and everything.
I got a picture somewhere when we was at Sister Lillian's house. We went down in their safe room.
Right.
I took a picture of it. I got to see.
Yeah. It's, in the safe room there is fortified with steel and it's reinforced and everything there. And everybody have to go down off and then stay there and all that because and when that siren go off, you just got only a few minutes to get down there.
So Israel, they build it.
Right. And so because that's the situation that they're under.
Right.
And so, see, a lot of people don't understand that. So, I don't see what's a big deal. How would you like to be in a situation like that? Yeah.
That time that happened to Sister Sanford,
Yes.
did they have
Yes.
show?
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
She just missed it.
She just missed it, right? One of my sisters that was from here. She said that that's she had the voice told her to get out of there, and she was kind of half asleep there and all that everything. And then I guess it was Yada told her get out of there right now. And no sooner she got out of it and got down to the other room and rocket went right through her apartment there.
Shrapnel killed her.
Huh?
The shrapnel killed her.
No. She got out in time. But she would have been dead. Right. Right. Get on out of there now. So, but that's the situation. And those are the people that stay in the southern part of Israel, down there in Durat and in the Negev and around down there, pretty close to the Gaza Strip, down there by Hamas. They catch it, they catch it all the time, man. You can't get no sleep. How'd you like to be woke up, we don't like to be woke up, by the time you got off to go to sleep good and then get a telephone call or something. Who like it? You don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
That comes from when Sister Sandy was up there. That comes from Lebanon.
Yeah, they came from the Hamas, from Hezbollah. Hezbollah was the one that was raining off down there at the time when they was there. And, but nevertheless, God wants us to watch what's going on. So goes Israel, so goes the world. See? And right now, we're living in an upheaval time. See, and all these nations are catching it now. See, United States, we're catching it all kind of ways. We got crazy people that, people that's talking about Israel will do this and how they do that there. Now look at that. It seems like all this stuff is spreading. Violence is starting. Hamas. That term Hamas means violence. And violence is spreading out all over the world. People just, those people out in California, they thought they was going out having some fun. Guy stepped in there, mowed them down. I mean, just like the guy went in that synagogue and just started shooting. All these kids are going to school and just shooting. Something wrong somewhere. We need God's blessings and we need his protection. All right. We're going to have a solo by Sister Taylor. We want to ask her to come forth and give us a solo.
I got a call from an old friend. We laughed about how we had changed, but I could tell things weren't going as well as he planned. He tried to hide his feelings, but they only gave him away. The longer I kept listening, the more I was wishing that I knew the right words to say. Can you reach my friend? Bring it starting to an end. Now I know you love him. Help him understand. Can you reach my friend? You're the only one who can help him give his heart to you. Well, we talked for more than an hour. A smile, we mentioned your name. I said I knew you. He told me to give his heart to you. I like to thank Sister Deborah for that song.
Yeah, all right. I like that song. Yep. That's it. But that is what we should be doing for our loved ones. For people that we feel like that we love, we have a friendship with, and those things there. Do the best that you have to offer for them. Okay? And that's to tell them about save their soul. See? Not only start a good relationship up, but you know, start an eternal one. Instead, I ain't telling you that because I do that, you gonna run away, I'll run away. No, tell them about the truth. Give them a chance. See? Let them like go forward and do those things. I like that song. All right, here. This is part of our being a witness. Okay? To do those things. All right, we're going to ask you to bow your heads now for our tonight, Baraka. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who have given us your Torah, the writings and the prophets, and the bread that they shine by thy great spirit, and have commanded us a diligent teaching unto our children, unto our people, and all people of the earth. And let all Israel say, Amen. Our Torah reading for this week's Parasha is found in the book of Genesis, Parasha, the 28th chapter, starting at the 10th verse, through the 32nd chapter and the 3rd verse. That is Genesis 28:10 through the 32nd chapter and the 3rd verse. Our Haftorah reading is taken from the book of Hosea, the 12th chapter, starting at the 13th verse, through the 14th chapter and the 10th verse. Hosea 12:13 through 14th chapter and the 10th verse. This week's Parasha is Parasha 7, which is Vayetze, and it means, and he went out. Our scripture reading will be taken from the Haftorah reading, which will be given by our Shemash. Let us give him our undivided attention as we read the word of God to us.
Shabbat shalom. The 4th chapter, 4 through the 10th verse. Some of the other Bibles got 4 through 9.
14th.
14th chapter, 4 through the 9th verse in some of the other Bibles. And that's page 722 and 23. I will heal their disloyalty. I will love them freely, for my anger has turned from him. I will be like dew to Israel. He will blossom like a lily and strike root like the Lebanon. His branches will spread out. His beauty be like an olive tree, and his fragrance like the Lebanon. Again, they will live in his shade and raise grain. They will blossom like a vine, and its aroma will be like the wine of the Lebanon. Ephraim will say, what have I to do any more with olives? And I answer and affirm him. I am like a fresh green cypress tree. Your fruitfulness comes from me. Like the wise understand these things, and let the discerning know them. For the ways of Adonai are straight, and the righteous walk in them, but in them sinners stumble. May y'all have a special blessing to the reading and hearing of his word.
Hallelujah.
We go forth, God is carrying us through, and as we go forth, and God's dealing with the house of Israel, so does he deal with the world. See, it's just like a little small picture of how God is dealing with humanity altogether. But he has chosen a select people to do those things. Do you know that you are of those people, whether you know it or not?
Hallelujah.
See, a lot of us don't know who we are.
That's right.
See? Yet still, it is required, see, for us to know more than just what people we are.
Mm-hmm.
See, what is required of us.
That's right.
See, and we need to know some simple things of dealing with our God, because we've been lied to on all these things. They tell you this and they tell you that there and all those things there. Well, I want you to know something. These two boys, after Isaac had his children, these two boys, Jacob and Esau, twins. Okay? One was the older and one was the younger. It don't matter about who has the rights. What you mean by that now? Esau had the rights. Why did he have the rights? Because he was the oldest. We got folks bragging about, nah, I'm the original, I'm the older, and you gonna kick somebody else, and you ain't doing near half what they doing. That ain't right. And that ain't how God look at things.
Amen.
Just because this guy was the oldest and he had the right to it and all that, but he sold a lot for the little red beans. Okay? Y'all heard that. See, we got to be very careful what we say and what we do.
Right.
And that's why we got to be very careful about our thoughts and what we say and what we're so easy to open our mouth. I'm going to have a last word. You might have wished you'd have kept them words.
He thought he was going to die just being home.
Yeah. Yeah. So he didn't care that much about it anyway, in the first place. He didn't value that. And that's what I'm trying to tell each and every one of you here. We might be able to fool one another, but you can't fool Yah.
That's right. That's right.
He know what your heart is at. He know them secret thoughts. You can hide your secret thoughts and little stuff and little ideas and little plans that you got. You can hide it from him, from somebody else, but you can't hide it from him.
That's right.
What is this situation? We go to Genesis 28. After getting all these blessings, after everything that seemed to be the way he wanted and everything there, and he didn't get all the blessings, all the good blessings, everything there. You think that he can sit back now and say, I got it made. Guess what? What did he have to do? We're going to read what he had to do. Genesis 28, 10 through 12.
Okay. So Jacob went out from Beersheba and traveled towards Haran. He came to a certain place and stayed the night there because the sun had set.
Now, you mean to tell me this guy done got all the blessings, all of the great blessings. Your brother, you're gonna have all of the utmost, and you're gonna be the one and all that, and then all of a sudden he gotta leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I got everything, why I got to leave? Yeah. When we start dealing with God and everything, we got to understand the Pharisees of things. We think, well, I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had the right, and he had received it, and even the Father told him, hey, what I've given to him, I can't take back. It's his, and he got it. But yet, see, he had to leave. He had to flee. What is that teaching us? We need to learn that we don't get the big head about things. See, because it's easy for us to get puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
And think that we're more than somebody else. We're more than that.
That's right. Yep.
Therefore, in all those things here, see, he had to flee. See? Why did he have to flee? See, why did he have to flee? He got it, like I said, he got everything.
His brother was going to take care of it.
That's exactly right.
His twin was going to take care of it.
That's it. Genesis 27, 41 through 46.
Esau hated his brother because of the blessing his father had given him. Esau said to himself, the time of mourning my father will soon come, and then I will kill my brother Yaakov.
Now, brother, twin brother. But you would say, well, why would he have to leave? Well, hey, I'm with this, and I got all the blessings and everything. Why I got to leave? Why would God, why would God protect me and I?
It's material.
See? Well, some of the things we got to understand that we got to learn some things too. Just because you received all those things, and just because we're the special people, just because we are the true Israelites and everything, but we got to learn some things too. He had all the power. He had all the good blessings. And that was one of the reasons why his brother was hated him and was mad at him. You know, come in, that old same Torah that the other folks are saying now. But what we're saying about somebody, they're saying, he said that. Now come in and stole my blessings. These folks that come and stole our land. See?
I'm not committed. No.
Yeah, I had one guy, one person tell me that, well, they really don't matter to me. Any day I'll do. I say, okay, then we're going to do Saturday then.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I ain't giving up my Sunday. I said, well, I thought you said that any day I'll do.
Yeah.
I said, so you just made a lie of your own self there. You just have to tell me at any day I'll do. I told you at any day I'll do will not work with me. God didn't give me that choice. Didn't he?
No.
He said the seventh day. Ain't that what he said?
Yeah.
That's right.
See, God knew all these things was going to take place. That's why he knew how to work stuff. He said the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. No matter which way. Like to me, it's that way. And no. That don't work. So, yes.
And they don't regard this Sunday because they can work on this Sunday.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah. Just quick that service is out, boy, they are doing everything.
That's right.
Come to yours.
Church is Tuesday.
Washington clothes.
Watch that game now.
Beans on. My pot of beans on. I gotta go home.
But yet still, let me believe that, you know, that. So we see that was another reason why they was in favor of him leaving, get on out of there, because he knew that that's going to be a big trouble there. Because when them hormones start kicking in and what's going on there, it's tough to control that. See? And so there's another reason why I leave. And he told him where to go. See? So he knew, because once he get there and all those things there and the wonderful get around, it was going to be time for them hormones to kick in. And so that was it. So he told him, hey, get away from here and go to a certain place. All this is part of God's plan.
Amen.
See? What was that? Go to the start at the 13th verse, Genesis 28.
Okay, 13. Okay, 13th verse.
Mm-hmm.
It says, then suddenly Adonai was standing there next to him. And he said, Adonai, the God of Abraham, your grandfather, and the God of Isaac, the land on which you are lying, I will give to you and to your descendants. Your descendants will be as numerous as the grain of dust on the earth. You will expand to the east and to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. By you and your descendants, all families of the earth will be blessed. Look, I am with you. I will guard you wherever you go, and I will bring you back into this land, because I won't leave you until I have done what I have promised you.
Now notice this. God said, I won't leave you I'll be with you. God gave him all his promises.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, we think everything should go along good now, right?
Mm-hmm.
God done gave him all that promises and all those things there. He said, oh man, with this and I got all the blessings. Now God said he's going to be with me. What can go bad with me? Hey, everything's going to go along good. Yeah, you know? We're going to be on cloud 9.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I name and claim, that's it. Just look at it. Yeah. Bring me some of that unclean meat. Bring me some of that catfish. I'm going to pray all it, make it all right. I got power.
Yeah.
That don't work with y'all.
So it don't work with him.
That don't work with him. People need to understand who we're dealing with here. So God was up with him there. Did you read to the 19th verse?
No, stop
Okay,
it.
stop at the 19th verse.
Okay. 16 says, Yaakov woke up from his sleep and said, truly Adonai is in this place, and I didn't know it. Then he became afraid and said, this place is fearsome. This has to be the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Yaakov got up early in the morning, took the stone he had put under his head, set it up as a standing stone, poured olive oil on its top, and the name of the place Bethel, house of God. But the town had originally been called Luz.
Mm-hmm. So here we see that he didn't even know that God was dwelling in that place.
Mm-hmm.
And get those things in there, you know. And so we go back to, but in all of those things there, God had made a whole promise to him. Now, we go to the 20th verse of that same chapter and see what promise that Jacob made to God.
Okay. Says Yaakov took this vow. If God be with me,
This is Genesis 28:20.
28:20. Mm-hmm. Yaakov took this vow. If God be with me and will guard me on this road that I am traveling, give me bread to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return to my father's house in peace, then Adonai will be my God. And this stone which I have set up as a standing stone will be God's house. And of everything you give me, I will faithfully return 1/10 to you.
And now, did you know that? Agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a man that got all the blessings, done received all these things here, and he made a vow with God.
That's right.
He made a contract with God. God then gave him all the promise and told him, you're going to do all this and all that. God come along. And he made a promise with him.
Mm-hmm.
He made a vow with him.
That's right.
See? Because he knew that even though I got all this other thing and I see all this, but there's some other things that I'm going to need along this way. And therefore, it's the same way with us. We need some additional things. Because there's a whole lot of death traps and there's a whole lot of dead ends and there's a whole lot of trouble out there.
That's right.
Amen.
And everybody's not lined up and taught the right stuff.
That's right.
And when you get yourself all hooked up and all that and get all locked up in those things there, it's tough to get out of that.
Amen.
See?
Amen.
But he said, if you will, carry me through all of this. Be my protection. Be my shield. Now, why would he think that? But like I said, he got all those blessings and all these promises. But he knew that there was some other stuff that he got to go through. And he knew it was going to be some tough stuff that he had to go through. He said, and bring me back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay you the tithes.
That's right.
I'm going to give you the 10. God could have said, no, you ain't got to do that. No, that's okay. That's a good deal. No? He could have said 50%.
Right.
But he said a 10th. See? And after he did those things there, and he came on back, and he went on his way. And what was it? Read that again. I want you to read that again and see what was all involved in this. Read that 20th verse again.
Okay. Yaakov took this vow. If God would be with me and will guard me on this road that I am traveling.
Now notice this. He said, if God will be with me
Mm-hmm.
and guard me on this road that I'm traveling. Protection. God. What does a guard do?
Okay.
That's why these folks run around here, all these celebrities and presidents and all that. They got what? They got the CIA there. They got guards from them. Protection. Why would he have that protection? He's the president. He got all the power and everything. Why do he need protection?
He got enemies.
There you go. Because you got enemies out there. Do you know that even the past presidents did have?
Yeah.
Yeah. They still got president. To the day they die. They
Yes.
don't have it.
Therefore, we need that protection. I ain't no longer the president. I still need. Yeah, you sure do. Because you still got enemies out there.
That's right. Amen.
Now people are getting stupid and that. Used to be you could feel you didn't have to worry about going to school or something. You felt safe in school. Now you can't feel safe in going to school.
That's right.
We never even thought about that kind of stuff. We was coming up with like what's going on nowadays in school. It never even crossed our mind that anything like that would happen at school.
Right.
Never, we never felt on,
Say it like that.
Yeah.
Not gonna blow us up before we get to the classroom. Like even in school.
We had that in churches, being bombed and shot. People
Years
were-
ago by the Klan.
Right, but never, in school.
Right.
You send your kids to school, you expect them to be safe.
That's it. Things are worse now.
Amen.
And how much more do we need? How much do we need that added guardship? We need that added protection. And so Yaakov had enough sense to know that. And he said, if you will be with me, and if you will guard me on this road that I'm going, not only on that road to go there to his father's house, but down around, but also to mean that whole road. And he makes clear that when he said, and bring me back. So he let you know he's talking about that whole journey of life.
Right.
Read on, see.
Okay. Guard me on this road I am traveling, giving me bread to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return to my father's house in peace.
See, so now return back. So he's talking about the whole journey.
Mm-hmm.
See? And so I return in peace. Then what?
Then Adonai will be my God. And this stone which I have set up as a standing stone will be God's house. And of everything you give me, I will faithfully return 1/10 to you.
See him? He made that agreement. He made that issue with him.
Mm-hmm.
And God said, okay. Okay? See? So the tithes, the tenth and all that was not just only a part of the Levitical priesthood and everything. Well, it's not the Moshe came back and he sit down all up and all that. No, that was done well before there was any Levite.
Amen.
No Levite was living during that time.
Amen.
There was no Levite.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the Levites was still in the loins of the men that made this deal.
Right.
Right.
Amen.
See? He hadn't even been burned. He hadn't even come out of his loins yet.
That's right.
Huh? They was giving the tenth to the priest. Melchizedek.
Melchizedek. Well, where was Melchizedek at? I guess you would have to summon Melchizedek to come get this stuff.
He was a king of Salem.
Okay.
And therefore, on special occasions, those things there, he would come out. Abraham came out, and those things there, and they recognized and they knew those things there, so they understood how God was and those things there, and it worked out for them. See, all these avenues that he does and everything there for us is part of our learning and part of our journey here, so God can be good to us. Now go to Hosea, the 14th chapter of Hosea. I'm going to read the first two verses of Hosea 14.
Shamron will bear her gift, for she has rebelled against her God. They will fall by the sword. Little ones will be dashed to pieces, and their pregnant women ripped open. Return, Israel, to Adonai your God, for your guilt has made you stumble. Take words with you and return to Adonai. Say to him, forgive all guilt and accept what is good.
All right, notice this. That's a terrible thing that they made mention was going to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that terrible thing going to take place? See? Did you read why he said it? Yeah. Why? Because they had turned away from God. See? They didn't keep the promise. They didn't hold up their end of the bargain. They didn't hold up their end of the covenant. It's just like now, you go make a contract with somebody and you break that contract. See? You go out and make a contract with your car. And say, well, they can come back, they can come get that car. I didn't want it anyway. And they come get that car, but don't you know you still got to pay for that car?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
You still got to pay for that car.
Right.
And you know why?
Well, you
Because you signed a contract.
finance.
You go down there and make a contract for motel or apartment, and you sign that lease agreement. I got a lease agreement for a year. You move out before that year's up. Hey, I don't like this. Guess what? You still got to pay for that year.
Yeah.
You signed that contract. Yeah, but I ain't at that place. It don't matter. I ain't living there. It don't matter.
I had this friend. He back in the 70s, he bought this car. The car was getting him a lot of trouble. He took out some insurance on it. He said, I'm gonna burn it up. What the insurance pay for it? So he set on fire and burned it up. And he still had to pay for it. He didn't have it.
Yeah. So you better know what you're doing when you get into a contract. A lot of people run around and holler about, I'm Israel, I'm Israel. You don't know that you're entering into a contract when you make that claim. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, I want you to know that. You want to run around there and brag about this and all those things. Okay, you're entering into that contract. And that contract now extends to you.
That's right.
This is why you better be careful when your kids come in. Daddy, come down there, and you co-sign something. You better know what you're doing. And you put your name on there.
That's right.
Because hey, you can be liable.
Mm-hmm.
run off your kids. The kids want, I want to go to school. I want to go to school. I want to learn this. And you gladly sign the paper. Oh, yeah. Kids get up there and don't go to school and everything like that, get kicked out of school and everything like that. And you think that school, you think that contract is over with you?
No.
Nope.
Did you know that?
Yep.
You still got to pay up, dear folks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good thing to see your children. It's a good thing for them to help them to go to. They need that from them. Like, but we need to understand all the full understanding of those things. And so it is with our God. We need to understand what we're doing. Because our God is nothing to play with.
That's right.
If you break the contract with me, I will do something bad to you. I will cause things. I will get out the way and some bad things going to happen to you. See? Oh, yeah. By the way, did I tell you that after Yaakov went and he went on down to the land, he had troubles down there.
Yeah.
But I thought he had everything. I thought he done made this vow with God, and he done made all that, and he still had troubles? Yes.
Maybe he don't have enough faith.
See? He had trouble with his boss. We run around how about we got trouble with our boss and everything. He had trouble with his boss. Boss flipped the strip on him 2 or 3 times. But see, Yah will work because Yah, see, I'm going to fulfill my part.
That's right.
So when it comes down to kind of pay up, or Uncle Evan, Uncle. Relatives.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, you got that wrong. I said, because he looked saw the majority. He saw the majority of the, what you call them? Yeah. No, they're the one I said was mine, and I said the mother was yours. No, that ain't what you said. No. Okay, then, what you gonna do?
He's all numbered. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. And you want a job, and you already said that I'm gonna work for my wife for this longer time. But you hooked in. And that's why I say about today here. We locked into these jobs here, folks. Many times my job made me mad and upset, but I thought about my children, I thought about my wife, and I thought about. And I said, hey, I gotta take this little. I gotta push that on the side and roll on out there.
That's right.
Yeah. I could have been powerful and everything that and fired. What's good that gonna do me?
And bills don't stop coming.
That's right. They gonna want that rent.
Yeah.
You can't tell that to the rent. Hey, rent man, I stood up to my little boss and everything. I told him and all that. Hey, what I got to do with me? I just come get my money. I want to get all those ass stories.
Between you and your wife.
Yeah. But see, all that was to teach him a lesson. All that was a part of his learning. And so God carried us through that. Because sometimes we got some of these instinct attitudes and stuff that we got to get run out of us. Because, as I said before, quick-tempered, it's not good. Because 90% of the time, when we get quick-tempered, we're going to make the wrong decision. And that's in favor for the enemy.
That's right.
And that's a true disadvantage.
That's right.
Because you're going to put the ideas in your mind, probably will set mad, everything. And you're going to hey, now it's time to feed what you see. And it's just like what you said there, that's how he was able to do that stuff. And that's how he was able to, and he was serious about killing his brother. Because he was all fired up in that attitude. He done stole my blessings, he done stole this and that. What did I got left? That's right. I ain't got nothing to lose anyway. Just like we got folks today. They will go out and play, kill our folks, and then turn the gun on us and kill them. Kill their own self. How you gonna deal with some folks like that there, ain't you? They said there's one kid over in Muskogee, I think they did that when they went in there, they arrested him and everything. You know, they told him to get on up, you know, we couldn't arrest you and everything. And so he said he ain't going back. He said, y'all got to take me out. And once back there to get the gun, he said, oh, you got a gun there. Pow, 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 pow. Huh? Was it in Claremore? Okay, I thought it was Muskogee.
One in Muskogee too.
Yeah, it was the one I was talking about. It was on the Muskogee, yeah. Yeah, in a restaurant, right. Yeah. Ain't that something? Then after they shot him and everything, they still handcuffed him. Yeah. Shot him 3 times there, then he down there, and they handcuffed him. But he said it. He said he wasn't going there. He wasn't going there. Hey, you're going to take him out. So they said, okay. What you want? Pow, pow, pow.
You know, common sense, okay, if you do wrong, where you going?
Yeah.
And he put a gun out on the police?
Yeah.
They say he did. You know how they do that.
They showed it.
Well, no, the gun was there. Right.
Yeah, but you didn't see the police reaching down to get the gun. You
No,
see them coming up with them.
They did show them. They're gonna show more.
Well, the thing is, the whole thing is, he didn't let him have his other hand.
Right.
He had one hand handcuffed, and they was telling him, show your hand. And he never would show his hand, so when he did, they say he had a gun. But I didn't hear him say, he got a gun.
Well, they say he said that he ain't going, you know, they're gonna take him out. Yeah. So that's why I say you gotta be careful what you say.
He had a record too.
Yeah, he had a record. Yeah, he had a violent record and those things there. So someone got the attitude, hey, I ain't going back no more. I'd rather be dead, you know.
I think one of the charges was abuse. He beat up his girlfriend. He had a record.
So what I'm saying is be careful about what we say with our mouths and do those things. Jacob, with his mouth, Esau, with his mouth, gave up the blessings, gave up his position. And God heard it, God knew it. That's it.
Man is home.
They ain't gonna get angry because Jacob.
And they gonna get mad when it work out what he done already agreed to. And see, that's what the enemy do. So therefore, we need God on our side all the way.
That's right.
See, his uncle went down there and cheated him out. But yet still, God turned that cheat into blessings. God said, okay, that's what you want? Next time, hey, you know, you sure this is exactly, yeah. You can have all the ones that got the ring, got a ring around the neck and everything. Now you can have all of them because you looked at this, so just on a few of them had that there, and all the others, you know. So it's okay. I said, okay. God told him what to do. Next time he came around, he looked at them, all the ones that was born, they had a ring around the neck and everything. Now what you gonna do? See? Gonna flip the switch again, see? God can control those things. Hey, when he left there a rich man. See? And that's why I keep telling you, dear folks, if it's for your favor, if it's for our favor, ain't nothing in it we can do. They might bring a little delay to it, but they ain't gonna change nothing. If them folks over there's the wrong folks and all that, they ain't gonna change nothing. Ain't no need to get no tears and all those things and getting all attitude and all that stuff there and jump on there. Hey, because he was out of disadvantage. He could whoop Uncle Levin, Uncle Levin had all the children and he was in his land.
You got married to Jacob. How come you let me kiss my grandkids, baby?
Yeah, right.
Been cheating you all this time, man.
Yeah, right. Uncle ain't been doing it right here. See?
But see, when you see Uncle ain't doing it right, you know what?
That's right.
You know exactly what
God said, I'm going to do this here. And now go to the 4th of Hosea 14 and read 4 through 8 verse. We're going to get this wrapped up.
Okay. Since I will heal their disloyalty, I will love them freely. For my anger has turned from him. I will be like dew to Israel. He will blossom like a lily and strike roots like the Lebanon. His branches will spread out, his beauty be like an olive tree, and his fragrance like the Lebanon. Again they will live in his shade and raise grain. They will blossom like a vine, and its aroma will be like the wine of the Lebanon. Ephraim will say, what have I to do anymore with idols?
Now notice that was wrong with Ephraim.
Mm-hmm.
Ephraim had all their gods. You know, Ephraim is another name for the 10 tribes of Israel. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ephraim was what?
Ephraim is another name for the 10 tribes of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
For the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jacob blessed Ephraim, you know, because Ephraim was the youngest.
That's right. That's it. And that came from those two boys, Ephraim and Manasseh.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Ephraim and Manasseh's mother, she wasn't no Israelite.
He was Egyptian. Priest.
So what you originally is don't matter.
That's right.
You know, I hear these folks running around and come, well, they ain't original this, because sorry, they weren't originally this. So what? But that sure didn't stop them from being named and become a part with it. They got adopted in and they got received land. But Ephraim messed all up and got attached to our idols. And he said, until they get that attitude to get away from them idols and run by the wrong thing, they got to go. God is going to bring those things all back. That's what we count on him to do those things. He said, I will bring them back. Now, is that true for the house of Israel? Is that true for in the New Testament? You talking about the Old Testament, but go to Hebrews. I want us to go to Hebrews, the 8th chapter of Hebrews, 10 through 12. And we're going to see what the New Testament ought to, as they said, the New Testament had to say. The brick had to shine.
Okay, Hebrews 8:10 says, but this is the covenant which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Adonai. I will put my Torah in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people.
Now notice this, dear folks, nowhere. And this one thing I had a problem with. I had an attitude that and a conversation with a Christian lady when I was over in Israel. She said, "That's what I don't like about y'all Israelites. That's what I don't like about y'all. Y'all think y'all own everything. Y'all think everything." I said, "Lady, y'all claim this and y'all claim that, but one thing y'all can't claim is the new covenant. We got the new covenant." I said, "No, you don't." reading from the New Testament there.
Yeah.
He said, this is the covenant that I will make with who?
House of Israel.
Oh, no, the Christians.
The house of Israel.
Oh, no, the Muslims.
The house of Israel.
The Buddhists.
No, the house of Israel.
He said, the house of Israel.
That's right.
The house of Israel, not them crazy people.
This is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. Now, what is that covenant? What did he say? I will put my Torah.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder why I teach Torah? Because that's what God said He's going to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
And these folks run around here, these churches run around here. When I was there, maybe they done changed now, but I don't think so. They were telling me that Torah done away with. They ain't got to keep no law.
That's right. That's what they say. They still say that.
They still say that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been years since I've been in one of them. But that ain't what it says there.
Nope.
You know.
The 11th verse says, none of them would teach his fellow Christians, fellow citizens, fellow citizens are his brothers, saying, know Adonai, for all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest, because I will be merciful towards their wickedness and remember their sins no more.
Now that's what God said.
So,
When they come to the realization and when they let His laws. So I don't care what all these people saying all that, but I'm gonna tell you something. I don't look for no color, I don't look for no size, and I don't look for. But if they love God's law and they do those things, that's my sister, that's my brother.
That's right. That's right.
And these folks run around there talking about the colors and all that stuff there and all that stuff. I don't care what color you is and all those things there. If you love God's law and those things there, that's my sister, that's my brother.
Amen.
So I wanted to be officially known over here because they run there and they say, oh man, how do y'all feel about this and how do y'all feel about that? That's how I feel about it. On our board in there, you'll see some white and blacks up on the board there. And they were treated just like family.
Amen.
Hey, that's right, because they is family. That's right. And therefore, dear folks, he said that I'm going to put my laws in, and you will be my people, and I will be your God. Mm-hmm. God hasn't changed. He's the same way it is now. Don't let nobody lie to you. They'll come back and tell you, oh, you ain't got to keep that law. You ain't got to do this here. All you got to do is do that there. And you got to do this here and all that. And you ain't got to do all that stuff. That's all. You tell them you're lying. Because that's not true. In closing for today, children of Yaakov must continue.
Amen.
mm-hmm.
And the reason why you got to do it is because Yah included us in on the promise.
Amen.
He said, not only will you, but your children.
Amen.
And that's why a lot of things happened because we didn't keep that thing on. We became robbers of Him.
Yep.
And God let the enemy come in and do it and cause all those things to happen. So He says here, and we need Yah's protection, dear folks,
Amen.
in these last days.
Amen.
That was one of the reasons why He made that vow to God about the tithes.
Amen.
Because He knew He was going to need that protection.
Amen.
Dear folks, I'm telling you right today, we still need that protection.
Most so.
Even though he got all the blessings, I want you to get that. Even though we got all the blessings through the Mashiach and all those things there, we still need these added blessings.
Amen. Amen.
Why? Because the evil is going to get worse and worse.
That's right. That's right.
And the enemy is going to be able to get by with some things. He shouldn't have been able to. We trust that Yahweh will bless you and keep you. And who you are with that is a responsibility. As I said before, a lot of people holler and say, well, I want to be an Israelite. I'm this and all that and everything. I am an Israelite and everything. Yes, but there are restrictions and there are things that go along with being that. Are you ready to do that? See? You say, yeah, I'm ready to do that. Okay, there's a lot of things you got to cut loose. There's some friends and some you can't be running with. See? You can't be doing all that stuff that the other folks do and everything now. Them folks out there with their left-hand cigarettes and ain't that what they call them, left-hand cigarettes?
No, we don't call that no more.
They don't call it that no more? Well, I'm way behind, ain't it?
No, they call it marijuana.
Oh, they don't legalize marijuana now, so well, I know one time they call it left-hand cigarettes, you know, and all those things.
Way back then.
Oh, okay.
Nobody in this age recognize what you say.
Well, it's shit bad for you, see. I don't care what they call it. They got K2. I know that K2 will knock you out and lay out and everything there. And they got all this shit. They used to have it all. They used to call it all. They have some whole lot of names. You know, people taking embalming fluid and sticking it in the with the marijuana. Now, what do you think that embalming fluid gonna do for you? Embalming fluid.
They call it water.
Yeah, they call it water. And they told me that was embalming fluid.
Embalming fluid is let it soak in the marijuana. Roll it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that embalming fluid is what you put in dead bodies.
Because it's dipped in the
So you be stupid enough, cause they know that you stupid, you know, and you tell them embalming fluid, hey, they might give another. Forget you all this water. And they ain't believe that stuff. And they had something they call angel dust or something like that. But
Years ago, you called it.
well, I know it was years ago. See, that's why I'm out of that. You know, but all I'm saying is that all them names and stuff was crazy, and people still did it.
But there was no angel in that dust, I can tell you.
People losing their mind, going crazy.
Oh, it probably was an angel already.
Yeah, I know. I saw the trees walking, and no angel was in there.
And yet still, folks, go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Dear folks, let us do right, that we might have life. All right. And as our oath is, how should we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Yerushalayim, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Yerushalayim above my chief joy. Psalm 137, verses 5 and 6. Shalom, shalom from now. Okay. Well, I urge you to go forward now, taking the tithes and offering. As I said before, this is